Here's the latest news out of Australia. Today we have a story, and I picked it up on zerohedge.com, which if you're listening to this you may be familiar with. Australia is going to start taxing bank deposits, or that is basically what it looks like is likely to happen. And in the context of the global financial system, this really has a clear and defined objective, at least to anyone with an 8th grade education. The elite don't want your average American, Australian, Chinese, Russian, whatever your citizenship is, they do not want you to have assets. Assets, in the purview of the elite, is something that only they should be able to have, and that everyone else should have to rely on income. And why do they want you to rely on income, specifically a job? They want you to rely on that because they are the ones who have the assets to provide you with the income. Therefore, they can dictate your wages. It's monopoly capital. So, you would think, well, if the elite have all the assets, why would they want this bank deposit tax? Well, what do the elite have access to that you do not? The elite can set up their money in any one of these known financial havens, in an offshore trust. It doesn't really matter what country you're a citizen of. You can go open one in one of these little island countries, and that's how they will skirt around these laws. There will be a loophole. That's guaranteed. I don't know the specifics of the loophole, but knowing the government of any Western nation, Australia, America, the United Kingdom, whatever, there will be one set up for the elite to take care of them, while everyone else gets the shaft. Just like in Cyprus, where they didn't even do a bank tax, they just did a one-time my ass, confiscation. So, what is the implications of this for America? In America, the elite want to take their money that they are hiding offshore, and they will come to auctions in the U.S. and they'll buy up real assets. Because remember, real assets is key. That's why they've been trying to swindle Americans out of their gold, silver, industrial capital, and especially real estate with foreclosures. And you see this all across the Northeast, and this is my personal experience and something that I've made the focus of my life right now. These little scummy Italians, little short men that have these offshore trusts and the like, they show up to foreclosure auctions and to tax sale auctions where things are sold for pennies on the dollar, which is a natural result of a distressed sale, of a foreclosure. But the problem is, when you go to these auctions, it's always the same Italians that are bidding. And the one thing that they hate is when someone bids against them. You thought an Italian's face couldn't get any redder because, that's their natural genetics and they're fucking drunks. When you bid against them at an auction that was meant for them and rigged, they get pissed off. And I love bidding against these scummy Italians, just like that scumbag on that TV show. I don't know his name. One of the guys on Storage Wars. He looks like an Italian to me. He does this lighthearted act. It's part of the TV show. That's not how it really is. Their thugs will come up to you before and after the auctions. They try and dissuade you from bidding. They have other tricks that they do at the courthouse to rig the foreclosure sale. If anyone wants to know about these tricks, you can ask me. I don't want to expose everything on here because you never know when someone's going to come after you, because I have specific documented instances, I won't name names, of how these Italians, they are rigging the foreclosure sale against you. They're stripping your equity, they're getting things for pennies on the dollar, and anyone who's been foreclosed on, if you knew about what these Italians are doing, you would be really pissed off. So again, they've introduced this bank tax. If something like this comes to America, you need to fight it tooth and nail. They'll try and sell it as something that's going to help the people and punish the elite and confiscate their assets. But what it's really about is taking your small bank account, whether you have 500, 1,000, 2,000. Meanwhile, Mr. Banker Italian is going to have his offshore trust with millions in it, and that's not going to be able to be touched. So stop the Italians. If you're Australia, fortunately, you guys don't have much of an Italian problem, but you need to fight that. Do not let them take your assets while allowing people to put stuff in offshore holding companies where they don't have to pay a dime. Thanks for listening, and as always, fight the pedophile, Pope-worshipping Italian agenda.